All right, everybody. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well on this Friday. Had some fun games yesterday. Well, kind of fun, I guess. Gonna have some fun games tomorrow. Today's kind of a chill day, but we're gonna do what we usually do on Friday and do some pass rush Friday stats. Unfortunately, if you watched that game on Thursday last week, you probably already know there wasn't a lot to speak of in terms of serious pass rush. There was some pressure throughout the game. There was some light pressure, some not super impactful pressure. But in terms of actually getting like to Stafford and getting him on the ground, there wasn't a ton of it. So it's not going to be a good day for the pass rush. We're going to talk about what there is to talk about. And then we're just going to move on and hope that the team can do better in the next couple of games here because they're probably going to need it. But yeah, so right away we can see a big problem here, right? Defensive line. Nothing from anybody on the defensive line. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. So yeah, we're off to a pretty bad start, right? No pressures from anybody on the defensive line. First time this year that has happened. We've had a few games with one pressure from the defensive line, but zero. That is a whole new level. Now, again, I want to stress, other than Jaron Reed, who has kind of redefined his game anyway, we're getting everything you could have hoped for overall from our defensive linemen as pass rushers, and I'd say in general. But man, not a good day. And the linebackers didn't really help any either. Nothing from any of the inside linebackers. Ernest Jones, Drake Thomas, zero. Not that I would want them to get a lot of pressure in a game like this because I don't want to blitz Stafford, but we did blitz Stafford a little bit and still nothing. So it kind of speaks to how ineffective the game plan was defensively for the Seahawks. So we're off to about as bad a start as you can have. And again, it doesn't change the big picture, but it definitely raises some clear issues with the way the game went for the Seahawks on Thursday, even though they won. Edge rushers, we've got some action here, little bit going on. We got one from Uchenna Nwosu, one from Boye Mafe, which is interesting, right? Because he actually basically got soft benched in that game, and two from D-Law. And D-Law was the guy who I think had the most obvious impact on that game as an edge rusher. So checks out to what I saw out there on the field. And obviously D-Law is crushing it this year anyway. Like I'm not here to say anything else otherwise to the contrary. D-Law has been fantastic. But yeah, not a lot from the edge room, but it was okay. And then you had one pressure from Devin Witherspoon blitzing as a corner, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. We got nothing from E-Man Worry this week, although I know PFF gave him some. PFR did not. So that's it. 5 pressures from the boys last week. You still got the win. You still got what you needed, but I don't know how much you can thank the defense for that, other than the fourth quarter where they forced those straight 3-and-outs. It was a bad game for the defense, and this is a big reason why. They didn't get pressure. And it's not surprising that they didn't get pressure, I would say. Like, it's not a shock that they failed to get a lot of pressure. We're talking about a Rams team that is really good at mitigating pressure. But it also kind of highlights the shortcoming with this defense. And I don't know if they can ever get to where they really want to get to with this crew of pass rushers. They have 4 guys that are good, and maybe one or two of those guys are very good. You could even argue great, but we don't have elite. None of these guys are elite. And until we get an elite edge rusher, there are going to be games like this. Now, there could still be games like that with an elite edge rusher, but There's nobody we can just turn to and say, hey, go make a play, and we know he's going to make a play. This is why Seahawks fans talk about Max Crosby so much. Nevertheless, though, they're still well on track to have about 200 pressures on the season. They only need 20 more. They got 2 games left. They're going to hit my projection pretty easily here, it looks like. So certainly not complaining about anything, but 180 pressures, it's going to be right near the league lead. That might even be league leader status, up there with Denver, I would say. But there was a point in time where it looked like we were going to go higher than that. And the last month has actually been kind of a buzzkill. All right, so that's going to do it for Pass Rush Friday. Usually the video gets a little bit longer, but I can't think of any reason to. We already kind of did a overall summary of where we were last week. Excuse me. And it wasn't a good week, but overall the pass rush is still very good. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks.